Throughout this study, most participants claimed it was due to their parents' heritage that they reported their race. For example, one participant said that both her parents had come from Africa, so she identified as African American. Some participants had multicultural parents, leading them to identify as two different races, such as Asian and Caucasian. While most participants stuck to either one or two races when asked this question for this study, a few mentioned specific races. These answers more collectively came from those of European ancestry. Swedish, Norwegian, Irish, and Italian were widely mentioned in this study. When asked about ethnicity, most people had to ask what the difference was between race and ethnicity. Once this difference was explained, participants were quick to identify as Hispanic or non-Hispanic. A majority of the non-Hispanic participators claimed this ethnicity simply because, again, of their parents' descent. What was interesting about the Hispanic responders, though, was their original answers. They originally stated that they were Hispanic, but they all went into much deeper detail than those of non-Hispanic descent. They mentioned specifically where their families are native to, such as Chile, Mexico, and Ecuador. Since the majority of the people that were questioned did not even realize that there was a difference between ethnicity and race, the answers given were similar to the terms listed in the U.S. Census Bureau one page. Out of the 20 people interviewed, 2 were familiar with the difference, and they knew it that it referred to Hispanic descent. These 2 people were then questioned on how they knew the difference. Due to employment situations, they both had to be further educated on the disparities between the two. The most interesting observation made in this study was how proud most of the participants were about their origins. For example, when asked about their ethnicity, all study members of Hispanic descent had backstories to accompany their answers, while non-Hispanic responders simply stated non-Hispanic. The same was true with race. While most only stated 1 or 2 races, explanations and family ties were always brought up, even though none of the participators were prompted to answer questions more fully.